In this episode of the SoFlo Vegans Experience, Jeff Bezos launches a $10 billion fund to fight climate change. The FDA allows animals tested in labs to retire at sanctuaries. Robby and Cyrus from Mastering Diabetes stop by to talk about their new book. And Walt Disney World now offers 400 plant-based options. All of this and more on the SoFlo Vegans Experience. SoFlo Vegans Experience lets you know what's going on in the growing South Florida vegan community, as well as covering some of the biggest headlines from around the globe. New episodes can be found exclusively on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and our website, SoFloVegans.com. Vegan Pop is a segment where we focus on the top news and trendsetters in the growing vegan movement. A new BBC documentary is going to show a behind-the-scenes look at environmental activist Greta Thunberg. It follows her international campaign to bring light to the climate emergency. In 2018, Greta inspired millions with a one-person climate protest and Fridays for Future campaign. She's gone on to become a global icon, being named Times Person of the Year in 2019. In the documentary, we'll see her meetings with scientists, politicians, and business leaders, as well as seeing her journey into adulthood as a 17-year-old. The BBC has not announced the launch date for the documentary as of now. Soon to be world's second richest man, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos commits to $10 billion to fight climate change through the Bezos Earth Fund. He wrote that he wants to work alongside others both to amplify known ways and to explore new ways of fighting the devastating impact of climate change on the planet we all share. Funding is going towards scientists, activists, and NGOs, as well as any effort that offers a real possibility to help preserve and protect the natural world. The first batch of grant recipients will be announced this summer. A report released by the USDA shows that over 780,000 primates, dogs, and cats, along with tens of millions of rats, mice, fish, and birds, were used in experiments in 2018. A little over 56,000 animals were in experiments without any pain relief. After pressure from groups such as the White Coat Waste Project, the Food and Drug Administration enacted a policy that allows animals used in lab experiments to be adopted by shelters and sanctuaries after testing ends. Previously, all animals were euthanized. Healthy rabbits, guinea pigs, dogs, cats, and some farmed animals will now be able to retire. We interviewed Cyrus and Robby from Mastering Diabetes for the SoFlo Vegans podcast. This corresponds perfectly with the recent news that a new intervention called the NFI protocol has been shown in studies to reverse type 2 diabetes in 84% of patients. These studies are peer-reviewed and accessible to doctors and will soon be available to the public. In this clip, Cyrus and Robby talk about their brand new book, Mastering Diabetes, the revolutionary method to reverse insulin resistance.
This book basically goes into painstaking detail here about what is diabetes, what causes it, and how can you truly reverse this insulin resistance issue. Okay, so it's a book that has more than 800 scientific references in it, because we wanted to make sure that as we were going through this, we were trying to be as impartial as possible. We didn't want to be those guys who were just finding research to back up our already preconceived notion that a plant-based diet is good for you. We wanted to find a lot of data that actually showed the benefits of a low carbohydrate diet and, tried to really investigate as unbiased as possible. So
we definitely recommend that people gain knowledge, okay? Parents, the best thing they can do is gain knowledge. So read this book, understand insulin resistance, understand all the tips and tricks we provide for insulin-dependent diabetes to make your blood glucose easier to manage, or make your child's blood glucose easier to manage. Understand the benefits of fiber, of high water content, of insulin timing, and all that stuff. In addition to reading other books, like I would recommend the Forks Over Knives family book. So if you're a parent, you have a young child, gain more information about the whole journey of raising your child on a healthy plant-based diet through additional resources.
We would like to thank Robby and Cyrus for appearing on the podcast. You can catch our full episode that debuts this Friday by going to SoFloVegans.com/podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review. The Vegan Food Report takes a look at some of the biggest veg news from around the world. The new vegan restaurant in Delray Beach, Florida is featured as one of the top 25 Black-owned restaurants that are redefining vegan food. This list was put out by Veg News and included other locations in New York, California, Texas, and Tennessee. Kellogg's own vegetarian brand, Morningstar Farms, is gearing up to launch a new vegan line called Incognito. Starting in March, the burgers will launch in the refrigerated meat case of Kroger's, Albertsons, and Safeway locations. Their product line includes plant-based burger patties, chicken nuggets, and chicken tenders. They are now announcing 2 types of pork products to add to their lineup. This includes the new soy-based original bratwurst and Italian sausage. Last year, Morningstar announced it would transition its entire product portfolio to be vegan by 2021. This would spare more than 300 million egg whites annually. California vegan brand Alpha Foods raises $28 million, led by investment firm Excel Foods. They currently offer 25 vegan products, including pizza, nuggets, burgers, tamales, and crumbles at more than 9,000 stores nationwide. You can find Alpha Foods in Walmart's, Kroger's, Wegmans, and Publix. The $28 million raise builds on a $7 million investment round that closed in March 2019. There are now 400 more reasons to call Disney the happiest place on earth. Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida expanded its vegan options with more than 400 plant-based dishes. Many of the chefs went through retraining with their in-house flavor lab, traveling to plant-based restaurants across the country to develop replacements for dairy and eggs. Disney is also going with the term plant-based instead of vegan because they see it as much more broadly appealing. It's the question of the day, everybody. What's the question of the day? And the question of the day is... This is normally where I give you the question of the day, but in this episode, we're going to be switching it up from here on out. We want you to ask us the questions, and we'll give you the answers. That's right, a little take from my good old pal, Gary Vaynerchuk, which I've never met in my life. Anywho, you give us your question, we'll get it answered either by a member of our team or one of the many guests we bring onto our podcast. And if we select you, you'll also be able to get some really cool prizes from us as well. So leave your question in the comments, send it to our contact section on SoFloVegans.com, or you can just email us directly at contact@SoFloVegans.com. We look forward to getting your questions so we can supply some answers for you and anyone else who may be having the same question. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to the SoFlo Vegans Experience. We love hearing your feedback. Share, like, subscribe on YouTube, click that notifications icon, and we'll see you next time on the SoFlo Vegans Experience. You are the last dragon, you possess the powers of them all. You are. This episode has been brought to you by Spishak.